Okay, first of all, let me just say welcome everybody to my press conference. We're doing it.
President Donald Trump has completely lost his cool after comedian Trevor Noah drew some uncomfortably accurate comparisons between Trump and tech billionaire Elon Musk. These two powerful figures have more in common than either would care to. Admit both wealthy men who can't handle criticism and use social media as their weapon of choice against anyone who dares question them. Stay tuned as we break down why Trump went ballistic over this comparison and how his explosive reaction only proved Noah was right all along. Plus, we'll share that viral clip where Trump's voice went bizarrely high-pitched during an interview, fueling those denture rumors that sent him spiraling even further. Before we continue, if you appreciate this kind of content, please take a quick second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing, and your support makes a huge difference to us. Have you clicked subscribe yet? Thank you so much. Now, back to our story. Trevor Noah recently struck Trump where it hurts most, his ego. During a stand-up special that's gone viral, Noah made this killer observation that both Trump and Musk are essentially running identical playbooks. Politics used to be boring until Trump came along and turned it into a reality TV show. Noah joked to thunderous laughter. And now we've got Musk doing the exact same thing. Except instead of The Apprentice, he's hosting Who Wants to Destroy a social media platform. Noah continued, "One of the first things Elon said when he took over was, comedy is now legal on Twitter. He was like, it's time for free speech. Time for comedy. Time for people to actually have fun on Twitter." Again, Elon Musk is just scrambling, making it up as he goes along, which I get. You spent $44 billion for a company that most people say shouldn't be worth more than like $20 something billion. You're going to scramble. The comparison is spot on if you think about it. Trump entered politics the same way he entered a boardroom, with grandiose promises, flashy rhetoric, and a flair for drama that kept everyone glued to their screens. Who needs policy details when you've got catchphrases, right? Make America great again is basically just you're fired with a flag pin attached. Noah pointed out that Trump didn't actually change American governance. He just changed how we consume it. We went from boring CSPAN to WWE SmackDown Oval Office Edition. What really got under Trump's skin wasn't just being compared to someone else. It was being called unoriginal. Trump prides himself on being one of a kind, a special snowflake with a spray tan. But Noah's comparison revealed an uncomfortable truth. Trump's just another rich guy who mistook Twitter followers for actual political support. It's like finding out you're not the only kid who thinks they invented the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Both of these men have mastered the art of the overpromise. Trump promised a beautiful wall that Mexico would pay for. Musk promised self-driving cars by 2016. We're still waiting for both, but somehow their fans just keep believing the next big promise. Can we appreciate how cute he is when he's trying to explain something to us that someone had to explain to him 5 minutes ago? Noah quipped, he's like, all the airplanes will be grounded, but not the ones flying. He saw that KFC bucket and was like, fuel up, Air Force One. We're going to Congress. Like,
terrible
sir,
things that have
it's
taken
only 8
place
blocks
against
away.
our country.
You know what? You're right.
They want
We'll
to
take the
penalize
chopper.
him.
The President of the United States is upset because he feels he should have more Twitter followers. This is absolutely ridiculous. Like, what's next? Is he going to complain to Instagram because his thirst traps aren't blowing up? The audience howled with laughter when Noah added, it's like dating someone who keeps forgetting your birthday, but swears next year they'll throw you a parade. The most cutting observation was about their identical management styles. Both men have created personal echo chambers where dissent is treated like treason. Remember when Trump's cabinet meetings looked like North Korean praise sessions? Mr. President, thank you for the blessing of allowing us to serve your vision. Musk isn't much different, having fired anyone at Twitter who dared question his brilliant ideas, like charging people for a blue check mark. Noah joked, these guys don't want advisors, they want cheerleaders with economics degrees. Trump's rage reached critical levels when Noah described his unique talent for failing upward. Most people who declare bankruptcy 6 times, launch a fake university, or sell steaks through a magazine would be finished, not Trump. Somehow each disaster makes his followers even more devoted. Trump could sell you a car with no engine, and when you complain it doesn't work, his fans would say, that's because the deep state stole the engine. Noah quipped. The walls of Trump's gilded bubble really started cracking when Noah laid out the harsh truth. Trump's failed businesses, the unfinished border wall, and his unfulfilled promises aren't bugs in the system, they're features. His brand isn't built on success, but on the perception of success, carefully curated through reality, TV editing, and social media bombast. It's politics as performance art, where actual results matter less than how confidently you claim victory. What's truly scary, as Noah pointed out, is how both Trump and Musk have fundamentally changed what accountability means in American culture. A record number of people have left the White House, which even for Trump is pretty impressive. Right? It's almost like he's leading the resistance by himself. Everyone out there is like, we got to get these people out of office. And Trump is like, way ahead of you, folks. Resist. Noah emphasized that Trump didn't run on never releasing his taxes. In fact, if you remember, he specifically said, I will release them as soon as the audit is done. These guys have created a new formula. Noah explained, Step 1, make outlandish promise. Step 2, fail to deliver. Step 3, blame enemies. For the failure, Step 4, make even bigger promise. Repeat until you're either president or the richest man on earth. The real genius of Noah's comparison wasn't just pointing out the similarities between Trump and Musk, it was exposing how this new model threatens democracy itself. When entertainment valued Trump's competence, when making people laugh or gasp matters more than making their lives better, we've turned governance into just another consumer product. We're not citizens anymore, we're audience members. Trump's response came predictably fast and furious. Within hours, his Truth Social account exploded with all-caps rage. Trevor Noah is a third-rate comedian who couldn't fill a bathroom at Madison Square Garden. Comparing me to Elon shows how little he knows about success. Sad. The irony of responding to criticism about his thin skin with a thin-skinned rant was apparently lost on him. You know, now that I hear it again, we should have known that Trump was lying as soon as he said, I don't think I have the authority to do that. Since when has Trump ever questioned his own authority to do anything? 'Cause you never hear this level of compassion from Trump about like Puerto Rico? Yeah, when that happens, he's like, here's one paper towel, go long. But here when it's him, he's like, the Mueller investigation was a terrible thing. Classic. Relationship dilemma. Yeah, Trump was like, Kim, if I'm going to open my trade to you, then we need to make this official. Kim was like, official? Why we got to put labels on this? Baby! And of all of his tweets this weekend, our favorite was when he tweeted out, it's truly incredible that shows like Saturday Night Live, not funny, no talent, can spend all of their time knocking the same person, me, over and over. Each angry post only reinforced Noah's point more clearly. Trump couldn't address the substance of the criticism, so he attacked the messenger instead. He couldn't dispute the pattern Noah identified, so he simply declared himself beyond comparison. The more defensive he became, the more he proved Noah right that his entire political persona is built on the foundation of a fragile ego. That requires constant validation. While Trump was busy throwing a tantrum over Noah's comparison, his voice decided to play the ultimate prank on him during his interview with Elon Musk on X. Imagine being the world's most famous loudmouth and suddenly sounding like you just inhaled a balloon full of helium. That's exactly what happened. And social media lost its collective mind faster than Trump could blame someone else for his problems. The interview was supposed to be Trump's big moment, a chance to flex his political muscles on Musk's platform. But instead of focusing on his message, all anyone could talk about was why the president suddenly sounded like he was auditioning for a cartoon voiceover gig. The internet exploded with reactions, and within minutes, Trump's squeaky delivery became the joke of the day across social media platforms. You'd think a guy who built his entire brand on being tough would laugh it off, maybe make a joke about it himself. But no, true to form, Trump couldn't handle becoming the punchline. Instead of owning the awkward moment, he immediately shifted to his favorite defense mechanism, blame anything and everything except himself. Trump scrambled to his Truth Social account with a desperate explanation, writing, unfortunately, because of the complexity of modern-day equipment and cell phone technology, my voice was in certain areas somewhat different and strange. He then tried to salvage his dignity by assuring followers he had released an actual and perfect recording of the conversation. The word perfect doing a lot of heavy lifting there. Just like when he described that phone call that got him impeached, the social media reaction was swift and merciless. We have someone running for president who is dumb as a rock, wrote one user. While another pointed out, Trump had the easiest out in the world. He could have just blamed Musk and his broken social media app. But no, he had to go full old man, yelling at the clouds. The comparisons to Donald Duck came faster than Trump could type witch hunt in all caps. But the ultimate betrayal might have come from Musk's own AI chatbot, Grok. In a moment of digital rebellion, Grok suggested that Trump's slurring might actually be due to dentures. That post quickly vanished. Apparently, even artificial intelligence isn't allowed to joke about the president's dental situation. The chatbot got memory hold faster than you can say cuffit, but the damage was already done. What makes this whole voice debacle so fascinating isn't just that Trump sounded funny. It's how perfectly his reaction validated everything Noah had been saying about him. Instead of simply acknowledging a technical glitch with a laugh, Trump's ego required him to create an elaborate explanation. involving the complexity of modern technology. He simply couldn't admit to any vulnerability, no matter how minor. This pattern of blame shifting has become Trump's signature move. A successful business deal? All him? A bankruptcy or failed casino? Blame the economy, the banks, the wind, or the complexity of modern-day accounting equipment. His inability to take responsibility for even the smallest mishap reveals the fragility beneath all that bluster. The denture rumors hit particularly hard because they threaten the carefully crafted strongman image Trump has built for his supporters. A tough guy doesn't wear dentures, at least not in Trump's world, where appearances matter more than substance. This obsession with projecting strength explains why a simple voice malfunction triggered such an oversized defensive response. When you look at Trump's reaction to both Noah's analysis and the voice mockery side by side, you see the same pattern: attack, deny, deflect. Never admit weakness. It's the political equivalent of wearing lifts in your shoes while insisting you're naturally 6'3". Trump's political brand depends on this facade of infallibility, which explains why even minor embarrassments like a squeaky voice cause major meltdowns. Social media users picked up on this immediately, as the memes and jokes multiplied. Trump's defensive posts only reinforced the impression that he couldn't handle even gentle mockery. The man who built a career on insulting others proved yet again that he can't take what he dishes out. For all his tough talk about being a fighter, Trump's skin remains thinner than the gold leaf on his toilet seats. The voice incident perfectly illustrated how image Trump's substance in Trump's political playbook, rather than focusing on policy or issues affecting Americans. He spent hours trying to convince people that he doesn't normally sound like that. Meanwhile, his followers rushed to defend him, creating exactly the type of echo chamber Noah had described in his analysis, where loyalty matters more than truth. That echo chamber Noah described morphed into Trump's digital tantrum zone faster. Then you can say Truth Social when the president's ego gets bruised. His thumbs work overtime, and boy did they put in the hours after Noah's comparison to Musk. Trump's response wasn't just angry, it was a masterclass in proving your critic right in real time. After the voice debacle and Noah's analysis, Trump unleashed a barrage of posts that read like they were written by a toddler who just had his favorite toy taken away. Instead of addressing any substantive points in Noah's critique, Trump went straight for personal attacks. He didn't bother engaging with the actual analysis about his leadership style or his relationship with accountability. No, he just called Noah unfunny and dismissed his career, the successful career that put Noah in position to deliver. This commentary in the first place. The irony meter was off the charts. With every angry post, Trump was essentially holding up a giant neon sign flashing, "Trevor was right about me." It's like if someone calls you thin-skinned and you respond by having a complete meltdown about how wrong they are while simultaneously crying. Not exactly the strongest counter-argument. What's particularly fascinating about Trump's social media spiral is how quickly his followers assembled to defend him. The moment he hit post on his first rant, an army of supporters materialized to echo his sentiments. They didn't engage with Noah's points either, they just amplified Trump's personal attacks. It was as if they were all reading from the same script: attack the messenger, ignore the message. As Trump's fury intensified, he did something truly remarkable. He started taking shots at Elon Musk himself, yes, the very person whose platform he was using to broadcast his meltdown. Talk about biting the hand that feeds you. This strategic pivot showed Trump attempting to distance himself from the Musk comparison, essentially saying, "How dare you compare me to that guy I'm currently insulting on his own platform?" The mental gymnastics required here deserve a gold medal. Political analysts watching this unfold couldn't help but note the perfect symmetry of it all. Noah had just finished explaining how both Trump and Musk weaponized social media against critics. And here was Trump, right on cue, demonstrating exactly that behavior. It's like he got a copy of Noah's script and decided to act it out to the letter. What's truly concerning isn't just that Trump had a temper tantrum, we've seen plenty of those. It's what his reaction represents about American politics. Noah touched on something profound when he highlighted how Trump has transformed political success from being about governance to being about entertainment value. Trump's entire response to criticism was focused on looking strong, appearing dominant, and entertaining his base. Not once did he address policy issues or the substance of Noah's critiques. This pattern has become Trump's signature move: create a spectacle, dominate headlines, rally the base, rinse and repeat. While news outlets were busy covering his latest social media explosion, substantive discussions about actual issues affecting Americans were pushed aside. Who has time to talk about healthcare when Trump is calling someone names on the internet? By the time Trump's thumbs finally got tired, he'd accomplished exactly what he wanted, drowning out the substance of Noah's critique. With the sheer volume of his reaction, the spectacle worked. As it always does, he managed to turn the conversation away from his own shortcomings and toward the drama he created. It's like a magician distracting you with one hand while the other is doing the trick. Except in this case, There's no trick, just distraction. The most telling aspect of this entire episode wasn't what Trump said, but what he didn't say. At no point did he offer substantive rebuttals to Noah's points about his leadership style, his relationship with accountability, or his tendency to create echo chambers. His silence on these matters spoke volumes. When you can't refute the substance of a criticism, attack the critic. That's page 1 in the Trump playbook. All of this reinforces the dangerous precedent that's been set in American politics, where actually governing effectively takes a back seat to who can create the most engaging spectacle. Trump's reaction to Noah wasn't just a personal tantrum. It was a reflection of a broader shift in political culture that prioritizes entertainment over effectiveness, performance over policy. Looking deeper into this social media feud reveals a troubling pattern in how public discourse has devolved in the digital age. Noah's insights weren't just idle comedy. They were a sobering commentary on the state of leadership in America. By comparing Trump and Musk, he highlighted a growing trend of style over substance. We're being entertaining, Trump's being effective. Trump's volatile response to the comparison perfectly illustrated Noah's point. The president cares more about perception than performance. Trump's reaction to the voice incident was particularly telling. Instead of laughing it off as a technical glitch, something any confident person would do, he treated it as an existential threat to his image. The fact that a simple audio issue triggered such a defensive response speaks volumes about the fragility underneath the bravado. It's reminiscent of how dictators throughout history have obsessively controlled their public image, unable to tolerate even the slightest crack in their carefully constructed facade. Noah's comparison touched on something even more fundamental: the way both Trump and Musk have exploited the public's hunger for entertainment. In an era where attention spans are shortening, and social media algorithms reward outrage and spectacle, these men have mastered the art of keeping all eyes on them. The problem, as Noah pointed out, is that running a country or a major corporation requires more than just drawing eyeballs. It requires competence, consistency, and the ability to admit when you're wrong, qualities that both men conspicuously lack. What's particularly dangerous is how this entertainment-first approach to leadership has normalized lying. When Trump or Musk make a promise they can't keep, they don't face consequences. They just make a bigger promise. When they're caught in a falsehood, they don't apologize. They attack the fact-checkers. This creates a feedback loop where accountability becomes impossible, and truth becomes whatever gets the most retweets. The parallels between their management styles are equally concerning. Both men have created environments where sycophancy is rewarded and critical thinking is punished. They surround themselves with yes men who reinforce their worldview rather than challenging it. This might make for entertaining television, but it makes for disastrous leadership. History is littered with examples of leaders who fell because they couldn't tolerate hearing bad news. Trump's response to Noah's criticism followed a predictable pattern we've seen throughout his career. When confronted with a substantive critique, change the subject to personal attacks. It's a technique that has served him well in the realm of entertainment, but falls woefully short in the arena of serious leadership. By focusing on Noah's popularity rather than his points, Trump revealed his priority: winning the popularity contest, not addressing the substance of the criticism.